Welcome to Daily Gossip. You'll get daily Hollywood updates here, so remember to subscribe for the latest videos. When the name Emily Wickersham is whispered in the corridors of Hollywood glamour, it stirs an emotional tempest that reminds fans and insiders alike of the subtle power she holds over the public's imagination, an actress whose legacy on NCIS as Special Agent Ellie Bishop transformed her from a promising talent into a magnetic icon whose presence lingers even in silence. But now, in a turn that no one could have expected, Emily Wickersham has reignited the media storm surrounding her image by doing something so bold, so dramatically stunning, so unapologetically daring, that fans around the world are gasping for air. In a photo shoot that has since sent shockwaves through celebrity circles and digital platforms alike, Emily left nothing to the imagination, standing at the very edge of Hollywood sensuality with a fearless confidence that commands admiration and awe. It wasn't just what she wore, or more accurately, what she didn't wear, but how she carried it. Her gaze strong, her posture regal, her aura magnetic. The sheer audacity of the shoot didn't just capture attention. It seized it, refusing to let go, and cemented her as more than a beloved actress. She is now a bold emblem of unfiltered self-expression. For those who remember her as the shy, meticulous agent on screen, this transformation feels like watching a star reborn in the brightest, most blazing way possible. The images, breathtaking in composition and staggering in their emotional weight, showcase a woman who has stepped entirely into her own power. Every pose tells a story, one of liberation, resilience, and the kind of unapologetic glamour that hasn't been seen since the golden age of Hollywood. It's no wonder social media platforms couldn't contain the tidal wave of reactions. Fans calling her fearless, media outlets dubbing her the new siren of sophistication, and critics left scrambling to find the right words for what they witnessed. But for Emily, this isn't about shock value. It's about evolution. It's about breaking free from the typecasting that often traps television actresses and showing the world that behind the character was always a woman ready to break boundaries. The daring visuals became more than photos. They became declarations of confidence, of autonomy, of a bold refusal to be defined by anyone else's expectations. Paparazzi scrambled, headlines exploded, and yet Emily remained poised through it all, radiating an energy that suggests she is in full control of her narrative. Fans, both old and new, rushed to defend, praise, and celebrate her, while industry insiders noted that this move might not only redefine her public image, but also reposition her entirely within Hollywood's power structure. Behind the scenes, stylists, photographers, and fellow celebrities spoke of the energy she brought to set, of how she channeled vulnerability and fire into every shot, how the room fell silent as the camera clicked, each flash freezing a moment that felt historic. This wasn't just a photo shoot. It was a statement of identity, a cinematic moment frozen in glossy frames that now travel across magazine covers, Instagram feeds, and YouTube reels. The fashion, too, was nothing short of jaw-dropping. Sheer fabrics that floated like whispers, silhouettes that flattered and empowered, color palettes that reflected both softness and strength. It was couture infused with courage, elegance married to rebellion. Every frame seemed to whisper, "This is me now, watch closely." The response was immediate and thunderous. Fans flooding comment sections with heart emojis and applause, style blogs erupting into think pieces about the return of timeless glamour, and a legion of aspiring actors and models citing Emily as their newfound inspiration. The emotion was palpable across fan forums, some stunned, others tearful, many deeply moved by how this one moment of visual power broke through their screens and touched something real inside them. And through it all, Emily remained gracious yet firm, grateful yet unbending, reminding the world that this bold new version of herself is not a phase. It's her truth, fully realized. The story of Emily Wickersham is no longer confined to the script she's handed. It's unfolding now in real time, through choices that are as radical as they are radiant. And this latest choice? It's more than memorable. It's unforgettable. The breathtaking impact of Emily Wickersham's stunning reveal did not fade with the click of the camera or the swipe of a screen. Instead, it echoed louder and stronger with each passing hour as fans, journalists, and fellow celebrities struggled to find adequate words to capture the magic and magnitude of what she had just done. What began as a bold artistic photoshoot evolved almost instantly into a cultural milestone, one that spoke to the deeply human desire to be seen, understood, and unapologetically oneself. Emily, once shielded behind the constraints of scripted lines and tightly edited primetime dramas, shattered the mold and emerged not only as a performer, but as a modern icon of empowerment, glamour, and self-mastery. The reactions were explosive yet intimate. Some fans found themselves staring in stunned silence. Others cried tears of admiration, recalling their own journeys of personal transformation, emboldened by her fearless stance. Across entertainment podcasts, red carpet interviews, and late-night talk shows, Emily's name was on everyone's lips. Not for a scandal, not for controversy, but for courage. Hollywood legends praised her, up-and-coming stars looked to her as a blueprint, and fashion designers scrambled to align themselves with the woman who had single-handedly reignited a global obsession with elegance fused with edge. The very idea of what it meant to be a woman in Hollywood shifted slightly, but powerfully, in her direction. But beyond the glitz and the glowing lights, there was something far more profound happening. Emily's boldness was triggering long-overdue conversations about body image, agency, and the invisible lines actresses are so often expected not to cross. By crossing them with such grace, she became a lighthouse for those who felt dimmed for too long. In one now iconic interview, the photographer confessed that the energy in the room during the shoot was otherworldly, describing how Emily brought a combination of fire and freedom that gave the entire creative team goosebumps. It was like watching someone walk out of her own shadow, he said. The fashion world responded in kind, with couture houses lining up for exclusives, noting how her presence had revived the very soul of red carpet glamour. But Emily didn't stop there. She leveraged the attention to amplify voices and causes close to her heart, seamlessly blending sensuality with social impact. Charities centered on women's empowerment and self-image reported a spike in interest after Emily publicly supported them, and fans weren't just admiring her outer transformation, they were rallying behind her inner mission. For those who once thought of her solely as Agent Bishop, this multidimensional evolution was awe-inspiring. But for Emily, it was simply the unveiling of a self she had kept quietly burning inside for years. Her rise was no accident. It was the product of discipline, vision, and a growing refusal to play by outdated rules. And the public could feel that. That's why every frame of that now legendary shoot feels etched into history, not as a fleeting moment of vanity, but as a permanent symbol of a woman claiming her story. Her beauty was luminous, yes, but it was her bravery that stole the spotlight. Her decision to bare herself, not just in the literal sense but emotionally and spiritually, was a call to arms for anyone afraid to show up in their truth. And just like that, Emily Wickersham was no longer just a name on a cast list. She was a movement. This unprecedented moment reached its zenith as magazine covers flew off shelves, digital downloads spiked, and fan art flooded social platforms, capturing her essence with reverence and passion. Fashion critics called it a Renaissance moment, likening her transformation to the timeless power of Monroe, the unshakable grace of Hepburn, and the untamed fire of Bardot. But what made Emily stand out wasn't her likeness to legends. It was her ability to become one, in real time, before our very eyes. Behind the scenes, her team carefully orchestrated follow-up campaigns, exclusive interviews, and style collaborations, but none of it felt manufactured. It all radiated authenticity because Emily, at the core, remained deeply connected to who she is, a woman who knows where she came from, understands the spotlight's weight, and still chooses to walk straight into it with purpose. And now, as the world watches with bated breath, the question isn't, what will Emily Wickersham do next? But rather, how far will this legacy go? Because make no mistake, this was not the peak. This was the beginning of an era. An era where stars don't just shine, they explode, lighting the path for others behind them. And in that path, Emily walks barefoot, proud, glowing in the golden aftermath of a choice that will inspire millions. So, if you haven't yet seen the photos, prepare yourself. Gasp, yes, but know that beneath every gasp lies the pulse of a revolution. A glamorous, emotional, and dramatic reminder that when a woman steps fully into her own light, the world can't help but stare. Emily Wickersham has spoken, not with words, but with presence. And now we all listen. Subscribe to Daily Gossip for more celebrity stories, Hollywood updates, and inspiring journeys every day.